Hello guys, I'm back. This is your teacher Kat. We will be discussing on lessons on pre-calculus. Basically, for this module, we will convert degree measure to radian measure and vice versa. To thoroughly discuss our lesson, let us recall what is a unit circle and a central angle. First, the unit circle is a circle with a center at the origin or at 0, 0 and a radius of 1, just as shown in the figure. Taking the points that lie in the x and y axis in counterclockwise direction, we have 1, 0, 0, 1, negative 1, 0, 0, negative 1. While a central angle of the unit circle that intercepts an arc of the circle with a length 1 is said to be or said to have a measure of 1 radian, which is equal to 57.3 degrees. These lines forming an angle are congruent with exact measure of 1 unit. Let me emphasize what are these lines. These lines that forms an angle have a congruent, okay, there are nagkakaproblema sa ating pointer. Let us erase this first. So we have, alam natin na isang angle ay pinoform ng two rays. So these rays have congruent length of 1 unit. So, okay, these lines forming an angle are congruent with the exact measure of 1 unit. The arc length or the distance between these 2 points, okay, the distance between this point, or shall we say this is the starting point of our angle going counterclockwise direction forming an arc, we have a measure of 1 radian, which is equivalent to 57.3 degrees. Okay, so the next question that we have to answer is how the center angle or the degree and radian measure related. Let us imagine our head pivoting the center of the circle. So imagine this is our head pivoting at the center of the circle. The degrees determine how far we tilt our heads. So radian measures angles by distance traveled. Both measurements are used in most trigonometric problems. So both the degree measure and the radian measures are used in trigonometric problems. But here in calculus, we will be using the radian measure more often. So how do we convert this to? Let us determine how the conversion factor came to be. So knowing that the circumference of a circle is equal to 2 pi r, and we already know the length of the arc as S equals r theta. That is, to find the theta, we have to derive. So we can have theta equals S over r, wherein S is the arc length and r is the radius and theta is the central angle. A central angle with a measure of 360 has a radian measure of 2 pi. So that is, we have theta, as we already know, given the arc length, is determined by the formula theta equals arc length divided by the radius. And we know that in the unit circle, we only have a radius of 1 unit. we have, so we can determine that the theta or the angle of this unit circle as theta is equal to 2 pi over 1 equals, so therefore 2 pi, the theta is equal to 2 pi. So the entire length, or from here to here, we have 360. Alam na natin yan since we are already knew it in elementary and high school days. We know that the entire one revolution, or yung isang ikot na yan, isang buong ikot ng angle na yan, from the starting point up to this point, meeting at this starting point, we have 360 degrees. So, and 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radian. So, to find out the radian measure, the factor, simply we divide it by 2 para mawala yung constant number 2. So, we divide it by 2. 360 divided by 2 is 180. And 2 pi radians divided by 2, cancel this out, we have pi radian. Okay. So, we have the conversion factor of pi over 180 when we are asked to convert a degree measure to radian measure. We use this to as a multiplier. Okay, these are the following examples prepared for you to understand how to convert the degree measure to radian measure. We are asked to convert 36 degrees to radian measure, so the factor of pi over 180 is used as multiplier. So we have 36 degrees multiplied by pi over 180, we have 36 degrees pi over 180. So we do not do complicate steps sa fractional part ito. Inisip natin reducing it by lowest term. So to reduce it by lowest term, we have to get the GCF, or greatest common factor, of the numerator and the denominator. In this case, we can divide it by 36. Yung iba hindi naman kaya agad. Pwedeng by 2, by 4. So until such time na hindi na siya pwedeng i-divide with both number, with the same number. So yun na yung reduced form niya. So for this example, we divide it by 36. That is, by 36, we have 1. And 180 by 36 is 5. So we have pi over 5 radian. So another example, we have negative 150 degrees multiplied by pi over 180, which is the conversion factor. Okay, so negative 150 degrees pi over 180. The GCF is 30. 150 divided by 30, we have 5. 180 divided by 30, we have 6. But don't forget that the given angle is negative, so our answer will also have a negative sign here. Okay. So another example will be 31.5 with a decimal. Pwede po ba yan, ma'am? Pwede. So 31.5, just follow the procedure, multiply it by pi over 180. We have 31.5 pi over 180. Use your calculator if you don't want to reduce anymore. So we have 7 over 40 pi radian. So for this last example, we have to get the exact or the numerical value of 3.14. Convert na rin natin siya. So given 540 as your angle, multiply it by pi over 180. We have 540 degrees pi over 180. I-reduce din natin siya. So yung GCF niya is 180. 540 divided by 180, that is 3. 180 divided by 180, that is 1. So 3 over 1, we have 3 pi radians. So we use the value of pi as 3.1416. For this entire video, I will be using 3.1416 as the value of pi. So we multiply 3 para makuha natin yung buong unit in 4 decimal places. So we have 3 times 3.14. So round off for approximately to 9.42 radian. So that would be your final answer. So for you to work on, so try to answer these examples for astral work time, and I will give you 1 minute. Let's see if our timer will work. Oh no. So let us assume that your 1 minute has already lapsed. So the answer will be pi over 5 or pi over 15 for the first one. Second one is negative 5 pi over 12. Number 3 is 5.5 radian. So just check it, and later on for the video if you're gonna play the video again. So for the next one, the vice versa, that is to convert the region measure to degree measure. Kung ang ginamit natin kanina is 180 pi over 180, the reciprocal of it would be 180 degrees over pi. So the reverse process would be that way. So we have to express the following in degree measure. So given regions, ang key lang dyan ay kailangan natin may makakancel. So pag kailangan sa multiplying fractions, gusto ko kasi yun nakakancel lang siya. Don't need to divide. So 7 pi over 6 multiplied by 180 over pi. So sa numerator, at saka sa denominator, meron pi, that would be pi over pi, that is 1. So another thing, we can cancel or find out how we reduce this with by 6, we have 1 here. 180 divided by 6, we have 30. Okay, so 7 times 30 degrees divided by 1, that is 7 times 30 alone. So we have 210 degrees. As simple as that. Okay, another example with an angle with negative sign. We have 4 pi over 9 radian multiplied by 180 degrees. Cancel this pi. So 9. We have a factor here as 9. 180 divided by 9. What do we get? We have 20. So multiply it by 4. So we have 80 over 1. That is 80 degrees. Okay. For our next example, ito wala na yung pi. Wala makakancel. So given is because we use 3.1416. So yung given ko na para to have an exact value, in our example, I took the 4 decimal places. Okay, so 10.2102 radians. So wala akong kakancelin dito kasi wala naman siyang pi sa taas. So disregard yung process na yun. We continue. Wala kang kakancelin. So you just multiply this one, 10.2102 by 180, and then you use the value of 3.1416 as your pi. So use your calculator and we will find out the answer as 585 degrees. So later you can practice on your own. So as your work time, express the following degree measure. Let us see if this work again. If not, so copy the given values. So I'll give you 1 minute and 30. For the meantime, let us assume that your 1 minute 30 has lapsed. So you have the answers as the follows: 495 degrees, 260 degrees, and approximately equal of 10, 20 degrees. I put a symbol of approximately equal because you will have meron pa dyan 10.1019 suppose 10 decimal places. So that is rounded off as 10, 20 degrees. Okay. So to summarize, the conversion of the measures degree to radian and vice versa, we convert degree measure to radian measure by multiplying it, the given number, by pi over 180, and the reverse process, which is to convert the radian measure to degree measure, we multiply it by 180 degrees over pi. Okay, one practical application of this, why do we need to know? Because our problem or the formula that we derive from arc length and the area of the sector, yung angle doon na central angle, kailangan nasa radian measure. But if we have encountered, or if we will encounter a problem with a degree measure, okay, let us read first. So we can one by one discuss it in detail. So let's read the problem. Find the radius of an arc with a length of 60 centimeters and a central angle of 30 degrees. So you're asked to round your answers to the nearest steps. So let us know. Given is the arc length and the central angle. So sabi nga natin, to find the arc length, we have the formula of S is equal to R pi or R theta. So our theta is 30 degrees. We have to convert it kasi sabi ko nga kanina or napag-aralan natin sa module 1 that the unit used in the central angle in the formula is in pi radian. So we have to convert 30 degrees to pi radian. So 30 degrees multiplied by pi over 180. We have, sabi ko nga sa inyo ito, that would be 1. 30 divided by 30 is 1. 180 divided by 30 is 6. So imaginary 1. So the answer is pi over 6. So to find the radius using the formula S is equal to R theta, we get the radius by deriving it as R is equal to S over theta. So paano po mag-derive? I-isolate natin si R. So para ma-isolate natin si R, i-divide natin yung multiplier niya dito, which is theta, in both equation. So we have ma-isolate si R, nilipat ko lang sila sa pagsulat, and then yung S divided by theta. So simply we got R is equal to S over theta. So S is the arc length and theta is the central angle. So we have to substitute the given values. Gagamitin na natin yung convert natin na value ng theta as pi over 6. And the central or the arc length as 60 on the problem. Given in the problem is 60 centimeters. So fraction yan, we can treat this as a fraction. So 60, di ba yung fraction? When we divide a fraction by a fraction, we take the reciprocal and proceed with multiplication. So we have 60 over 1. May imaginary 1 yan. 0 is a fraction. And the reciprocal of pi over 6 is 6 over pi. So proceed with multiplication. We have 360 over pi. Then 360 over pi divided by 360 divided by pi, which is 3.14. 16, we can have 114.6 centimeters as the radius of this given circle. Okay, that's it for this